I'm rolling with this. I want you to write good short answer questions. Tell me more.
The Supreme Court ruled in favor, saying...
What did Truman do before we get to the Supreme Court? What did Truman do?
So Truman went in and made all the workers go back to work. He broke the strike and said, hey, you guys got to go back to work.
There's something that he did to the company too, right?
Oh, he took over the company.
He did. He seized the company. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Forced the workers to go back to work. And then, what power? Here's a good one. What power was Truman trying to justify? What power? He said, I'm taking over this company. I'm going to make the workers work. What power was it in Article 2? 5, 4, 3. Nico looks like it was. Go ahead, Thomas.
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief, yes! Truman was saying, I'm Commander-in-Chief in the armed forces. I've got to provide steel for my boys overseas. There was a lawsuit, and what was the argument? Actually, there was a lawsuit, and there was a 3-part test dealing with presidential power. What was the test? 5. Go ahead, if you got it. Go ahead, anybody.
All right. So if the president did that and Congress stayed silent, then the president could technically do it?
Okay, that's part 2. If
right.
President acts 1, 2, 3 within Article 2 powers and Congress is silent, the president is probably going to win. Go ahead. There's 2 other parts. Your group's got it. Anybody in the group?
If they disagreed with them,
Yes.
they wouldn't be allowed.
If President and Congress disagree, presidential authority 1, 2, 3 is at its lowest ebb, and the president is going to be able to do it. What's the 3rd part?
If Congress agrees with him, he can do it.
President and Congress agree, presidential authority is at its highest level. What did the court say in this case?
Well, the Congress
5.
didn't pass it. The court allowed
4.
it because the Congress didn't.
3.
They didn't say he couldn't do it. They just didn't pass it.
Pass what again? 2.
Amendment to the Taft-Hartley Act.
An amendment. Oh! 1, 2, 3. They offered an amendment to the Taft-Hartley Labor Act that would allow a president to actually seize a steel mill. And the Congress, 1, 2, 3, actually refused to pass it. So the court, did they say it was President and Congress agree, President when Congress was silent, or President and Congress disagree?
President and Congress disagreeing.
Disagree. And ultimately, 1, 2, 3, what they said was that Truman couldn't do it. Touch the house. Pick me a category. This was from a 3-point question. Imagine what happened.
Yes, right.
Go.
Can we do chapter? What you got? Someone else pick. I picked them.
Yeah, I hope somebody read. Gotta pick one though.
Executive power for 2 points.
Executive for 2. Click it. Presidential term limits. Y'all have it first. You've got it second. You've got it third. Go. 5, 4, 3.
Every 4 years he gets reelected.
Okay, what does that have to do with term limits? 2, 1.
8
Go,
years.
Matthias.
You can only serve 2 limits. You know,
You can term 2 limits? What?
2 terms.
2 terms. You are limited to 2 terms. 1, 2. Explain it to me.
It was based off of George Washington's.
George Washington set the precedent. He actually was elected twice, and then ultimately, if you'll recall with this, he stopped after the second one, and this remained effect until whom? How many times did Roosevelt get elected?
3 times.
-2. Go ahead. How many times was Roosevelt elected?
He was elected 3 times, but he died in his...
Yeah, it was wrong before. It's wrong again. -3. Wait, that's the Ratchet group? Yeah, there you go. Who did I say had
It
it
was
next?
us. It was us.
Okay,
right?
go ahead. Is that right, Leaky? Okay. Leaky's like, hell if I know. Just go ahead and answer that.
4.
4.
Not 8. I'm sorry.
All the takers.
Everywhere, Professor.
Leaky's in this too. Like I said, make sure you get her attention. Okay, he was elected 4 times. Go ahead, explain the 22nd Amendment to me.
It imposed a limit to 2 terms.
Okay, but it does more than
It's
that.
what ratified.
What's that?
It was like ratified like 1951.
Okay, it was, but what else does it say? Is the president limited to only being able to serve 8 years?
No, and 10 years.
Explain.
So,
If the president dies in office before he passes his midterm,
Yes.
then the vice president can take over.
Yes.
And
go for only one president.
Go for
No,
only
yeah.
1 term. Yes, 1, 2. If a president dies and then the vice president president takes over and it is longer than half of that term that the vice president will serve, then that vice president can only be elected once.
After the midterm,
After the midterm?
it goes for 2.
Then actually it can be 2.
And it
1,
could-
2.
it could
Touch
go
the House. Pick
9
me a
to
cat.
10 years.
Say what?
It could be 9 to 10 years. He is serving.
It actually
Yeah,
could be 9 to
9
10
10
years.
years.
Pick me a category. It looks like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 37, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, negative 5. And you know, Rachel's negative 4 of that, so maybe you need to jettison her in 2. Pick me a category.
Article for 2.
Articles for 2. We did? Go ahead, click it and let's make it go away.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we did. Okay, go ahead, pick me another one.
Articles for war.
Articles for 1.
No,
Yeah,
you
y'all are
got
big
my
risk
point
takers here.
question.
Go ahead, click it. Home country. You have it first, you'll have it second, you'll have it third. Home country.
What I think this is in reference to is when Michelle Obama said something about Barack Obama's said something
What
about,
did she say?
She said that they visited his home country of Kenya,
Yes,
which then
she
caused
did.
which amidst a bunch of controversy surrounding that, it made a lot of people talk about, oh, she's like with the whole like birther issue where it's like Barack Obama
What do
was
birthers
not,
believe?
they believe he wasn't born in this country.
Birthers believe that Barack Obama was not born in the
Yeah,
United States,
so
and if
that-
he's not born in the United States, what's controversy?
So that added, you can't be the president unless you're born in this
Can't be the
country,
president.
or your parents were both U.S. citizens.
Oh wow, really dropping it on here.
U.S. territory. It'd be on
Oh yeah.
U.S. territory.
Okay, I'll give you credit for that. The home country did deal with Michelle Obama, and if you remember, I asked you what your home country was, and almost all of you said it's where I was born. And then when I showed the Obama clip, everybody said, well, wait a minute, no, it doesn't really mean necessarily where I was born. And y'all are like, okay, I guess you just like Barack. Anyway, go ahead, touch the house, pick me a category, you're now in second place.
Which one do you want?
Really shouldn't be this hard. Somebody take
Articles for 4.
Articles for 4. Now we're getting bold. We've got our first Pictionary.
You do it. I do it.
Need somebody to draw.
What are we? Can show us and then we can you show us and then
No,
we decide?
because if I show you, then it's not going to be Pictionary. I need somebody to come up and draw.
Do you want to?
Okay, Amanda, if you'll come down here by Leaky. Amanda, this is what I need you to do. I'm going to give you 1 minute. I need you to draw that. Got it? Don't mouth it. No words.
We have to guess.
I need her to draw this. Y'all have to guess. 1 minute starting now. Got it? Okay, 1 minute starting on the 10. Y'all can guess as much as you want. Only this group, though. It is a baby.
Yay!
What is the significance of natural born in the United States? What the heck?
You're
5,
a citizen at birth.
4.
Yes.
What is the significance of natural born to the presidency
You
chapter?
could be born somewhere else, but then that wouldn't technically count. Like you have to be a natural born citizen,
No,
and like you were in.
if
No,
two
no, no.
illegals came over the
Are
border.
y'all buying this?
If two people,
No, who's got an actual vote?
we were.
Well, make a decision. Go ahead, Gary.
Natural.
I lost patience.
Natural born is to the presidency, or what natural born means, like you were born here in America, so you are a citizen, and you have to be born here.
Yeah, you're struggling too. What is the logic behind requiring somebody being a natural born citizen to be president? What's the logic?
So you don't have outside influences. Like you won't have a loyalty to somebody else.
Won't have a loyalty. 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes sense. Anything else you can tell me? 4, 3. Anybody else screw?
They'll believe that you will act in the interest of the American people instead of someone else abroad.
That's kind of the same thing as what he said, although you said it better than he did. Anything else you can tell me?
Also the 14th Amendment.
The 14th Amendment?
Naturalizing citizens that were born in the United States.
I'm sorry, say what now?
Naturalizing citizens who were born in the United States.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with the actual presidency chapter, though. Anything else you can tell me? Go ahead. I can't tell you that. We'd have to look at the video, and we can't watch it yet. What can you tell me? My last question was, what's the logic behind the 14th Amendment? I mean, not the 14th. What's the logic behind natural born citizen? Or what is the argument that somebody doesn't have to be natural born?
Oh, that they can influence our government by having other policies from other countries.
Okay, now that's been said. Give me something else.
Okay,
other
they'd
than
be
that.
able to speak on the interests of like people in America if they're born from.
Okay, I think that's been said too.
Oh, well, then,
See, that's why I need
the timing that they've had, I guess, in America can differ from the time that they've been in their own home country, making sure that they can kind of have more influence on American culture rather than their own. So like
That would actually make a little bit of sense. Now you're to -1. Some people would argue that the longer that you're here, some people would argue that the more that you stay within American culture, the more that you're going to know the country. That I'll give you. Nobody has talked now about this idea of reasons why we should change this. Why should we change the idea that you've got to be natural born?
You can have an outside view. You can understand how people look at us.
I get that, but give me something more specific.
Okay.
What would be benefits? What did that article about Arnold Schwarzenegger say? 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I'll add one more to the other side. I'll say that a person that's, for example, French, like in the article, is more loyal to French if indeed America and France were to get in a war.
It mentions in there that if you could have more loyalty, and they said that's exactly what happened with the United States and France back in the XYZ affair. Tell me more.
Exactly. So when it comes to Arnold Schwarzenegger, however, immigrants who move to the United States may be even more loyal than Americans themselves because they have committed to being American and getting citizenship.
Some people have actually argued that if you had a bad experience in another country and then you move here, this is going to be loyal. And when we had talked about home country before, some people would say, my home country is where I live now. What else, though, did the article say? Anything else? 4,
I think there was an amendment or a bill that was trying to get passed and make so that citizens of America, if they've been here for either 14 or 20 years, could then run for president.
They did actually argue in that.